Open your minds. It's your choice. You chose to be here tonight. You made a decision. No one twisted your arm. Nobody made you do it. You made a conscious decision to be on this call tonight because there's something that you're seeking. And I want to share with you information that you can make an educated decision, not an emotional decision, an educated decision for your family's future, for your family's friend, for your friendships, for your finance, for your fitness, for your mental health, and all of that. My goal, my family's goal, I'll tell you right now, my kids are in business with me. And I love the fact that they actually want to be in business with me. Do I drive them crazy? Yes. I'm a type A personality. Get it done, let's go. Why isn't it done now? But my kids actually still want to be in business with me because they respect me, because they know and they've watched over time me act on faith, on family, what was best for them, on finances, making sure that I provide. I might give you a little bit of backstory here. My husband passed away when my kids were 8, 6, and 4. And I found myself without my best friend and a single parent of 3. And this is 20 years later. And my kids love me as a single parent. My kids respect me as a single parent, and they live on faith. That's the impact of being able to have the freedom to be engaged with my children. And what I'm about to share with you today, my goal, my mentor's goal is 10,000 families, to help 10,000 families to have $5,000 in residual income every month, to free moms and dads to be parents, to parent their children versus allowing the system to parent their children. My goal, I want to account for at least 500 of that across this world, because I know if I impact 5, or not if, let me check that right away, when I impact 500 families. There's a song that I listen to, and it says, may the favor be upon you for 1,000 generations. So imagine 500 impacted families for 1,000 generations. That's my goal. That's my dream. That's my opportunity. That's my assignment. And I have chosen the BYLD Network to fulfill that assignment. Or should I say, the BYLD Network chose me. Because this is not for everyone. I'm going to make that clear up front. It's not for everyone. But for those who see the vision, for those who capture the mission, BYLD is a network to build your mindset, because as a man thinketh, so is he. To build a business, not only nationally, but internationally, and then to build your net worth. Let me repeat that, your net worth, not your gross worth, because sometimes when you look at it, it is gross. It's your net worth. So let me talk to you about BYLD and why BYLD for me and my family. If I could get this to work right. Here we go. BYLD is a high-ticket brokerage with 4 and multiple verticals to come. 4 high-ticket verticals. Each vertical has a huge income potential. So if you just say, hey, I'm trying to make ends meet and I just need an extra $1,000 a month or $3,500 a month, we got you. If you say, I have a lot of people, my family first, my friends second, that I want to impact, and I need to make money to do it. Not that money is everything, but what can you do without money? Yeah, you can always love people, but broke love ain't it, honey. Let me just tell you that for now, right? So this is an opportunity to make whatever it is you came here to see. That's your opportunity. Who are we and why? What do we? If I can get this thing to work right, it'd be good. All right. So why build a business? There was a time when everyone, before the Industrial Revolution, owned their own business. They owned their horse, their mule, their whatever, and they bartered and they exchanged. Then we got into the Industrial Revolution and jobs became the thing. And now, look at what's happening with jobs. We have the Doge. And I've been dealing with the Doge. I've been dodging the Doge because I don't want to be the person to step up to my team, my medical team, that it's taken me over a decade to put together, to say someone has deemed you unnecessary. Someone has deemed you and your family not worthy of giving you enough time to be able to prepare for your family. So business right now, for most Americans, and if you think this is only happening within the federal government and you're okay in the private sector, it's a ripple effect. Strap in, because this has only just begun. Building a business used to be an option. Being an entrepreneur was a nice thing to do, but now it's a should. You don't have a choice. Well, yeah, you do have a choice. You have a choice to take control and take ownership and build a business, or you can make the choice to stay where you are. And I'm gonna have to tell a story on this one. So there was this old dude that had a dog, and that dog just kept howling. And the neighbor finally came by and said, "If you don't shut that dog up, what's wrong with that dog?" He said, "Well, he's sitting on a nail." He said, "Well, make him get up." He said, "It don't hurt bad enough." And that's some of us with our good government jobs, in our good private sector jobs. And even though it doesn't make ends meet, it doesn't hurt enough for us to do something different, like build a business. So it's your choice. Right now, people are doing, this is the gig economy. Everybody has a gig, a gig. Okay, I'm going to do Airbnb. Yeah, they're going to wear your house out. Oh, I'm going to do Etsy. Yeah, you're going to work really hard to refurbish that to make $5. Oh, I'm Uber. They're going to break your car down. I'm telling you that right now. I got to laugh when I think about it. I'm telling you that right now. Everybody has a gig. But you know who's really making the money with Airbnb, with Uber and Etsy? The individuals who came up with the idea of Uber, the idea of Etsy, and then put it into implementation. And now everyone who's coming after that is getting the gravy. They're not getting the meat. The meat is going to the who? Put a 1 in the chat if you think the meat is going to the employee or to the gigger. I don't know. The meat is actually going to the business owners, those who own a system that is implemented and used by others. Because you're really doing Uber and Etsy to make ends meet. But it's really like a Band-Aid. Being a doctor, it's really a Band-Aid. If you have an open, gushing wound, me putting a Band-Aid on that is not going to help you. And that's what Uber and Etsy and all those other gigs are. They're a Band-Aid. What you really want to do is stop the bleeding. And then what you really want to do after that is get healthy and get away from the environment that is actually hurting or harming you, right? Whether you use this information I'm about to share in BYLD, to build your own business nationally and internationally, or you use this information to build another business, I want to educate you tonight on what to look for in a business. And this is what you look for in a business. First of all, you need an industry with a big target market and a low market penetration. How many of you wish you had invested in Bitcoin when it was $1? Right. It is $91,000 today for one Bitcoin. Are you going to pay $91,000 to get one Bitcoin right now? You're kind of behind the gun. There's a large market penetration. So you need a big market and a low market penetration. Essential goods and services, water, electric, gas, right? Yeah, I saw my girlfriend Crystal on here, right? She's my stylist. Girl, we can be as broke as can be, but we're going to get out here, dude. It's that simple. Essential goods and services. Then industries that will thrive in good and bad economies. Right now, people are still paying their water bill. They're still paying their light bill. They're still paying their phone bill. Their cell phone bill can be $400. They're still going to pay it. Essential goods and services. If you're evaluating businesses, use that criteria to evaluate businesses and then make it an educated decision. Come up with a plan, right? Come up with a plan, put that plan into action. Because that's exactly what my family and I did. And I'm going to tell you right now, it has made a difference for us. These 4 verticals that you're seeing right now, these 4 opportunities that you're seeing right now, has made a drastic difference in our financial future for 1,000 generations. Why? Because they're essential goods and services, low market penetration, and will thrive in good or bad economies. Let's talk about solar. In solar, that's our flagship. And you can, let me just pause and say, you don't have to do solar. If solar's not your thing, there's water. If water's not your thing, there's home security. If home security is not your thing, then financial services through Smart Money Club. If that's not your thing, we've got some things coming I like to call it in the hopper, that will get you, if it doesn't get you excited and moving, you dead. That's it, period. So let's talk solar. One solar sale, helping one customer to move to cleaner energy, helping one customer to own their solar versus renting, having one customer have solar become an asset to their house versus the electric company being a liability, right? Having one person get 30% tax credit, having one person have some big dog savings is what I call it. That's the value of solar to customers. The value of solar to us is that we help people, and why we help people to become energy independent, we make money to the tune of $6,000 to $10,000 in commission on average per sale. What would $6,000 to $10,000 on average per sale do for you and your family? I'll tell you what it did for mine. My daughter Sarah is 23, and from her solar sale, she took her grandma, her brother, her grandpa, and herself, made me pay for myself. I'm gonna tell a bank of mom is closed. Made me pay for myself, but she used her solar money at 23 to take 4 people on an all-inclusive trip to Jamaica, fully paid. They didn't have to pay for a thing. She did it all, massages and all. Bang, girl. I had to drop the mic on that one because she's 23. How many of you are 53 and you can't do that? If you're 53 and you can't do that, you might want to look at BYLD. And you might actually want to build it. As a medical doctor, I understand water, the importance of water. We're 2/3 water. We have rain H2O, and no, you're not drinking rainwater. You're drinking rain water. It's just REIN, clean water. And the company that we're partnered with for the clean water is a company that brought alkaline water to the US. If your body is 2/3 water, you don't want to filter the water. Let me tell you, you can Google it. You can actually look up your zip code and find out exactly what's in your water, right? And in that water, they found antidepressants. In that water, there's bacteria. As a matter of fact, in Maryland, we had a water boil. Boil your water before you drink it because it ain't clean enough for you to drink. Welcome, rain H2O. So if solar's not your thing, there's rain. That's $1,000 to $2,000 per family that you help to become healthier. And then there's security. As the economy gets worse, and I'm hoping that we are at the tail end, but I don't think we're at the tail end based on what I'm seeing, because I also have a background in financial services. I'm life insurance and investments licensed, and I'm watching the economy very carefully. And we're not at the downswing yet. We're not fully there. And as that happens, you're going to need security for your home. If you don't already have a security system, get with the person who invited you and get your family secured. Because when people start to hurt, right, they hurt others. By coming into your space and taking what's rightfully yours, I got some bangs for them. Not only do I have home security, I got some other kind of security up in there, and my dog, my pit bull, he'll take care of that. But there's always Ripple. There's ADT and Brinks, but we've got Ripple coming. So if you want military grade security, guess what? Boom, we've got it. And they can't turn it off, because the thieves, they're smart. They went to criminal university, i.e. prison. And in criminal university, yo, man, what you in here for? Well, I didn't realize they had a dog and they had this alarm system and I couldn't get it off because the dog was there, right? And he said, yo, man, this is how you get over it. You get the dog a steak with some sedatives and then you can turn off the security system. Well, with Ripple, that ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because it's military grade. It's what they used to use in the safe houses. It puts a bubble around your house and let the pressure change. Alarm goes off and only you can turn it off. I call it the Ripple effect. I wish I had it when my daughter Sarah was in college. I would have slept better because the statistic in college on dorm crimes, I didn't sleep well when she was in college. Praise the Lord, she's graduated and she's making money. And talking about money, we have our Smart Money Club. That's where you learn how to make money, but you also learn how to keep money. Today I was talking to a coworker, and I was telling her that I was going to go to a discount store and go and figure out what I wanted to buy, because I don't pay full retail for anything at all. And she's like, "Oh, but you make so much." And I said, "It is not about how much I make. It's about how much I keep." And not only is it about how much I keep, it's about how much I keep that makes money for me. I want my money to have a job, and that job is to make more for me. I don't love money because the love of money is the root of all evil, not money. The love of money is the root of all evil. But I also understand it. 10% of 1,000 is 100, but 10% of 1,000,000 is 100 million. You'll get that later on. All right. You'll get that later on. So we have the Smart Money Club, and that's where the residual income is. So if you're looking at the opportunity, I'm telling you, there's a lot coming. Just hang on, strap in. And if this thing doesn't do what I want it to do, I'm going to get to it. I spoke to you about Rain H2O, that is clean water. 2/3 of your body is water. So let me talk to you a little bit about solar now, and why solar is our flagship product. I don't know how many of you are keeping up with the news, but if you are keeping up with the news, I don't know if you heard what happened in Chile. Chile, the entire country is blacked out right now. The entire country. For those individuals in Chile who have solar and have a backup battery, they're like sitting pretty. They still have it. I'm sure their electric fences are probably working too, as well as their Smith and Weston, right? But an entire country is without power. Why? Because the grid went down. So let's talk about market penetration, or large target market. There are over 130 million homes in the US that are eligible for solar. 100 million homes in the US, let me correct that. 90 million of them are eligible for solar, and only 5 million have gone solar already. That means there's still 85 million homes in the US alone, not to mention the 19 million in Chile right now, not to mention that we're annexing out to another country south of us who we're going to be doing business in there by the end of the month, by the end of March, right? 85 million homes are eligible and currently without solar. That's a large market with a low penetration. Large market with low penetration. And it's, like I said earlier, it's not about the money. It's about what we do for people that help us to get that money that allows us to do the things we need to do for our families, our faith, our family, our friends, our finances, and our fitness. We help people by decreasing their energy costs by 50%. We help people by giving them a 0% financing options, because right now things are tight. Middle America is going away. I got to back up and give this statistic. I was listening to Grant Cardone, and he was talking about being in the top 1%. And the top 1% make over $800,000 a year. And he said middle America is at a juncture where they have to choose. They have to choose whether they're going to move up to that 1% or they're going to fall down to the poverty line, because middle America is going away. Where are you going to choose to be? Think about that. We help people by helping them to save in their energy. We help people with various finances. We help people with blackout protection. We help them with tax credits. We help them to increase the value of their home, right? An asset versus a liability. And we help clean energy. I call tax credits our big dog savings. In 2022, every 44 seconds, someone went solar. They're either going to go solar with me, you, or someone else. You choose. But people are going solar. They want energy independence. They want to own their energy versus renting. They want to create an asset versus a liability. And they can do it with us or with you. What do you see here? What do you see here? Put in the chat. What do you see here? Let me get to that chat. What do you see here? Because what I see here is not just opportunity. I see families who need solar. I see families who need to get healthier with cleaner water. And with that system still filters all that crap out and delivers you clean water. I see families that need security, like I told you, as the economy declines, crime increases. I see families that need security. I see families that need to travel and get away from the US because the spirit of stress is just way too high up in here, right? That's what I see. And I also see people who understand and see the vision, like this EXP realtor out of California. This EXP realtor decided that they were going to be part of what we call our plug and profit, where we have realtors who already have a book of clients to actually utilize that client base to help that client base, and we do all the work. They feed us the leads and we do all the work. This before solar, this customer was paying $287. After solar, $148 a month. We saved the client money. We gave them a system of energy independence. We increased the value of that person's home by adding solar and having them pay it off, right? We also had the, like I said, an asset versus a liability. And for doing all of that, we weren't just sitting on our laurels going, here you go, you got a system. No, we customized it. And then after custom, we got paid for that. And I am not ashamed to say that I get paid for what I do in medicine. And I am not ashamed to say that I get paid for what I do in business, because I service people day in and day out. And as a result of that service, I got paid. If this realtor got paid $3,200 just for referring someone and putting them in a plug and profit program. And the mentor made $3,200 because that mentor now will take that client from point A to point B to the point where their system is turned on. If that doesn't fire you up, go to sleep. Next. Florida has high rates, right? This customer was paying $410 a month, $290 after solar. You know, our president, J.C. Rango, says, so a solar sale presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. If you can't see this, you blind. And even Stevie Wonder made some good music blind. All right. This particular deal was $8,200. So let's say I was the mentee. Like I told you, I am not embarrassed to say I make money. $4,100. And the person who mentored me, so all I did for that was I called, hey, you interested? Have you ever thought about solar? Yeah, I thought about solar. Good. Send me your bill. Why? Because I think I can save you money. If I can't save you money, I ain't gonna call you back. But send me your bill. Got the bill, put the lead in, set up the appointment. After that, so we got the proposal. Oh, I can save this person from $410 to $290. Call them back. Hey, I got a proposal for you, girl. I can save you some serious money. All right, book me, girl. Booked it. $4,100 for me, and then the mentor who took them from A to Z, $4,100 for them. Hey, I ain't mad, because guess what? I can now do my own deals real soon. Check. I am going to be a mentor by March of 2025. Check. And guess what? I won't need to search for another lead, because when you're a mentor, you get leads. The company sends you leads. So all of you out there who are in sales and you're doing all this lead generation, I do lead generation too. And part of my lead generation is now going to be the company giving me leads. Let's go. Let's talk about energy. Let's talk about what it's going to cost, right? Let's say you pay $150 now for your energy. 10 years from now, you're going to be paying $300. It would have doubled, right? 30 years from now, you're going to be paying $1,500. I do believe that's 100 times, at least 10, right? Let's stop and think about this. Would you like fixed costs of paying off your solar over every month, every year? You know exactly what your solar bill is going to be. And after you can even pay it off early, or after 25 years you own it, you don't have a payment anymore? Or would you like the variable cost? The variable cost of 25 years from now, 30 years from now, you're going to be paying $1,500 and you can still rent your energy versus owning it. You choose. So if you say this is not for you today, when it comes to building a business, you better say it's for you as a customer. Because if not, you're going to be losing some money. And I ain't going to feel sorry for you. Ain't no shame in my game. So I have a gentleman who I'm about to introduce. His name is Landon Taylor. He just had a beautiful baby girl. Well, yeah, I can say him and his wife just had a beautiful baby girl. He is a man, I like to call him a mighty man of valor. And I like to be around men who are mighty men of valor. I like my young adult sons to be around men who are mighty men of valor, because they're going to teach my sons and reinforce what I've already instilled in them, how to be a man. And then my daughter who's watching, it's going to teach her how she should be treated by a man who's a real man and not a boy. You can get offended if you want to. I'm still going to make money. I'm still going to take care of my family. And this man is doing exactly that. He is my lead generation hero because he taught me how to do lead generation. And I give you into more than capable hands to show you the money, Mr. Landon Taylor.
Wow, Dr. Arlene, that was amazing. First of all, but before I even start, can you all just give Dr. Arlene some fire in the chat? Just absolutely amazing, entertaining. When I first met Dr. Arlene, I saw her in her serious phase, but it's just refreshing to see her just light up. So, you guys just show Dr. Arlene some love, please, please, please. And thank you for those kind words. I truly try to live my life just better because I know I have to leave my children a better future. And that better future starts with this. It starts with being able to leave them with something outside of bills, headache, and heartache. So we'll get right into it. But again, Dr. Arlene, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for those kind words. And I truly will not let you down ever. So let's talk about energy. Energy is will be the largest transfer of wealth. Now, how many of you understand what that truly means? Right? When something is transferred, that means what? That it already exists. So we're talking about something that already exists, and that is why I'm excited. So when I was first introduced to this, I was excited because I knew that I was tapping into something that I did not have to create. It already existed. Now we'll talk about a few things. I won't talk about everything on this page. We'll talk about a few things on the page. We'll talk about personal sales, mentor sales. We'll talk about some overrides, some bonuses. But we're going to talk about exactly how to change your life and how you can help other people change their lives. So we're going to do some simple math here, right? Let's do some simple math here. Let's do $10,000 per install. We're talking about solar sales here. Now, Dr. Arlene showed you a brief example of what it looked like in California and Florida, but just wherever you are, let's look at this simple math of $10,000 per install. Now, here's what I love about what our company founders and leaders did. They were so generous. They said that using this example, if it's $10,000, the company will pay you 70% of commissions. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have ever been in sales, but 70% is a lot. I know we have some real estate agents on the call, and I know that they absolutely fell in love with 70%. Well, what is 70% of $10,000? Ladies and gentlemen, that's $7,000. Now, you may ask, well, what happens to the other $3,000? Don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly where that $3,000 went, and you'll be even more excited. So Dr. Arlene talked about mentor sales. She talked about she'll be a mentor at the end of the month, and I'm so proud of her. She's been absolutely killing it. Her and we have absolutely phenomenal people. As a matter of fact, we partnered up with the #1 residential solar installer in the nation, and guess who was #1 when it came to production with this #1 installer? Ladies and gentlemen, you are now partnered, and you will be partnered with the #1 producer for the #1 residential solar installer in the nation, and you have the opportunity to make even more money as a mentor. How do you become a mentor? Simple. You do your 3 mentor sales, you close 5 on your own, right? Because you're taking notes. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you we have the best of the best, again, we would not be number one if we didn't have the best of the best. As a matter of fact, we have one gentleman not too long ago closed 29 sales in a month. Now, you heard what the splits were, so we'll let you do the math, but just imagine just everyday people, and some people are even still doing this part-time. People like Matt Acosta, who's a barber, doing it part-time, people like Chris McHenry, people like Idris Alak, and it goes on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the opportunity to learn a skill and transform your life and your family's life. And then you complete a simple company certification, and boom, your name is in lights. And as Dr. Arlene says, people can tap your name and select you as the person that they want to close their deals. So let's look at a few examples. You help four consultants close their first 3 sales. Now, here's the beautiful thing about that, and I'll talk about this in a little while. You're now getting your business for free because you've helped 4 people start their business. So you have 4 consultants close their first 3 deals. That's 12 sales. Remember, $7,000. It's a 50-50 split, $3,500. Ladies and gentlemen, what would you do with an extra $42,000 in commission? Now, the average American is making about $63,000 for the year, and you're making $42,000. Now, this could be in a month, this could be in 2 months, 3 months, even if it's in a year. What would an extra $42,000 do for you and your family? I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And here's why I was so excited, because I knew that I could join something where recruiting was not required and people can win. And again, you're dealing with the best of the best. All you have to do is bring the deals to the table, and all you have to do is become a mentor if you choose to, and learn the skill and make things happen. But let's say you wanted to take it to the next level. Here's why I love this quote, because Zig Ziglar says, rest in peace. He said, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want." Ladies and gentlemen, this company has set the standard when it comes to helping people win in business. Let's talk about it a little bit. So everyone starts at a level playing field. What I love about this company, and when I first took a look at it, I said I wanted to join a company where there was both equity and equality, right? There was an ability to have everybody start fresh, where everybody gets the same pay rate. Ladies and gentlemen, what I love, when I first heard Mr. Rangel talk about this, he talked about, any of the red lines and having a baseline, meaning that we can all be paid on the same level. So when you get started with us and you begin to build your team, 20% front line, ladies and gentlemen, this is where that $3,000 is going. The company says that from that $3,000 that was left over from that sale, the company will pay you 20% of that, which is $600 in that example. You still get your 70% commissions. Now, as you begin to get more involved, as you begin to really learn the skill, you begin to get a pay raise. It's no longer about politics, ladies and gentlemen. It's about productivity. So now you're a manager. You're getting 30% company. You're getting 30% overrides. You're getting 10% team overrides, and you're still getting your 70%. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going all the way up to national director, and now we're talking about equity. Imagine, what would it take for you at your job right now to become an owner of the company, to get a piece of everything that happens in the company? Ladies and gentlemen, the company says that if you are able to bring people to the table, if you are able to produce, if you are able to show up to the trainings that we have, because the company has by far the best trainings that I've ever had, and I do training for a living, right? I mean, trainings are happening every single day. I mean, basically all day. You can hop into the chat. People are asking questions and answering questions. What if you could just take some time to learn a skill? What if it takes you a year? What if it takes you 2 years? We've been set up on a plan where we're told that it takes 40 years. And then we're told we have to, retire on 40% of what we already can't afford anyway. But what if it took you a year to learn a skill, and now you're earning a piece of the company up to 5% company wide? Ladies and gentlemen, that just blew me out of water, because no one else in the industry is doing that, right? So let's look at a few examples before we get out of here. Let's look at, you becoming a manager, you getting your 30% overrides. Let's just say now you've helped 10 consultants close just one deal. We're not even talking about superstars here. Again, we have people who are closing multiple deals per month. But what if they just did one deal per month? Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at $6,300 in overrides. And in this example, this could be a deal that you help or you didn't even help, right? But what if you did your own deal? $7,000. Now you're looking at for the month, $13,300. I mean, absolutely just amazing. What would $13,000 do for your household? Again, in a month, a quarter, or even a year. But let's double it. Let's just say you helped 10 consultants do two deals. They learned the skill, and now you have eight coming from your first level, 12 coming from anywhere on your team. $13,800 in overrides. This can be money that you know nothing about. You've simply helped people come to the table. They learn the skill. You plug them into our plug and profit system. They learn from our people who are out there teaching and training. You close your own deal. Now you're looking at over almost $21,000 for the month. I mean, this is life-changing money, and I'm not here to scare anybody, and we're not here just to make up numbers. We have people who are absolutely crushing it in residential and commercial solar. All right, but let's dream big. Let's just say you 50 consultants, and we have people who are absolutely growing organizations that will blow this out of the water. What if you could have $67,000 plus in overrides? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to dream big, but we also want you to be realistic. And here you can be realistic about your dreams. But you may say, okay, Landon, I've heard solar takes some time to really install, but what about some right now money? Drop a one in the chat if you need some right now money. You want some money next week. You say, the first of the month is coming. I need some money coming next week. Well, we have a solution for you. What if you could provide a few neighbors, a few people in your phone, a service that they need? Dr. Arlene talked about, crime happening. We're talking about reduction in force. And when reduction in force and when depressions happen and recessions happen, crime typically goes up, correct? Well, what if you could provide a service where people can insulate their homes and make sure that their assets are protected? And we have some of the most affordable and the highest technology when it comes to our home security. And Dr. Arlene talked about Ripple Secure, and I'm so excited about that coming out. But right now, today, you can offer them services that will be about $50 to $64 per month, lower than most home security systems that they're paying for right now, right? But what if you can make an extra $400 to $700 uh, paid out the very next week, right? We're talking about some right now money. And then we have our water brokerage. Now, I am from Jackson, Mississippi, and here's what I know. Up until probably recently, they were dealing with a water crisis, which meant that in many cases, at the drop of a dime, they would have to boil their water. And I also right now live in Houston, Texas, and if a hurricane happens, we're automatically boiling water. But what if you can introduce a product to the people that you know, love, and trust? Introduce them to a product that will absolutely protect them, save their lives, right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know I grew up in an era where we would go outside for the summertime, play all day, and we would drink water straight from the water hose. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still dealing with those pipes that were out there 40 plus years ago, right? But now we have a product that you can help people uh, put good minerals back in their body. Just clean, safe water, no longer being subjected to the dirty water that's happening right now, going through those pipes when anything happens. And then here's what I really, really love. Now, I saw a slide Mr. Rod Obi put up. It said that Bill membership has its perks. Here's one of my favorites, the Smart Money Club. Now, we talked a lot about making money, but how many of you understand the reality that it's not just about making money, but it's about keeping money? The reality is that if you are a baby boomer, you need about $1 million to retire. If you're a Gen X, you need about 2 million. If you are a millennial or Gen Z, you need about $3 to $4 million to retire. Now, I know most of us on this call are not there, right? So this alone, if there was nothing else being sold, this alone would be worth the price of admission, right? Financial mastery, day one, when you join our membership, day one, you're introduced to financial mastery. How many of you know people who need their credit repaired. I mean, I know I do. My credit is not an 800 yet. So I'm currently right now using smart credit, build credit. Tax planning. We're in tax season. A lot of people are overpaying way over taxes because they're not structured correctly. Be in your own bank. No more payday loans. How many of you know people who have pulled out payday loans because just ends could not meet? Right? Business mastery, setting up your structure, access to capital, good and bad debt. Listen, these are tools that you are introduced day one when you join the membership, but it gets better. Here's one that my wife truly loved. And, Valentine's Day came and gone, but, Valentine's Day should be every day. So if you are enjoying family, if you enjoy going out to eat, this is for you. Now, the average savings for the year is about $2,500 to $3,500. But listen, over 50,000 restaurants, 150,000 retailers, 850,000 travel providers. Listen, if you have children, this is a must. If you have a wife, listen, fellas, this is a must. This is a must. You can take her out to eat, pull your app out, boom, there you go. You can thank me later. But listen, the two memberships that we have that I just showed you are worth the price of admission. When you see the price that it costs to get started, you're going to laugh because the cost savings alone, it just blows it out of the water. So before we get out of here, I want to talk about something that's really important that is nothing like I've ever seen. So we often hear about companies like Netflix, Amazon, Spotify, and we often hear about subscriptions. And we know for a fact that companies like Facebook, Instagram, they were all built on the backs of us. Now, what if I told you that you help these families become millionaires and billionaires for absolutely free? Now, here's what I talked about this company being about equality and equity. We've now introduced our own subscription model. Now, you just saw two of the most amazing subscriptions that absolutely add value. And that's not even all the value that we have. We actually have some other things that are coming that will add even more value to your subscription. But let's just use those two before. How many of you know people who could absolutely use those two services that we just showed? Well, the company says that if you begin to just share with people the subscriptions that we have, share with them and put them on a call just like this, let them know that there's money to be made, there's money to be saved, and there's people to be saved and families to be saved, that the company will reward you beginning at $500 per month residually. Now, you see 10 and 10, but here's the beautiful thing about it. And I heard Mr. Idris Alaka say this, and he gave an example of how you can structure this. And of course, you can get with the person who invited you, but you could also talk to a senior partner to tell you how to structure this. But he said this, he said, imagine team one being, people who are just your roofers, your HVAC, your solar pros, and team two being people who want to actually build a solar, water, or home security brokerage. You can build it in any way that you want, but the beautiful part about it is you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. The company says that the person who invited you and the person who invited them and so on and so forth up can actually help you build almost 50% of your organization. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a 7 in the chat if you've ever had anything like this really come by your desk. Like, this is the first time I've ever heard anything like that. Drop a 7 in the chat that really gets you excited. Because I know I saw that. When I saw that, I said, people can win, right? Because no longer are you required to just build something just by yourself, right? Because my mother taught me that many hands make light work, right? Meaning that if everybody comes together and just do a little bit, right? And we have people absolutely blowing it out of the water. But what if you can come in, do your part, just do your part, really drive this thing, put your family on your back and really drive this thing home. Imagine what this could do for you and your family, all the way up to, listen, $250,000 per month is absolutely amazing, right? What would an extra just at $4,000, what would that do for you and your family, right? How could that change your life, right? So how do we get started? We talked about all that value, right? But it's literally a three-figure decision that can absolutely change your life. $99 a month. Listen, five businesses actually for one single broker fee. 199. Ladies and gentlemen, most of us have we spent that over the weekend. I mean, listen, I don't know anywhere where you can get started for this small of a price. And most people see that price and they treat it that way. But I don't want you to treat it that way. I want you to treat this business as if it were $1 million business. Don't treat it as if it was 199 to get started. Treat it as if this is a multi-million-dollar corporation and you are the CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you one last nugget. What if I told you that the leaders and founders of this company said that, listen, if you help the company, if you help Build Network become the biggest and baddest global machine out here, they will absolutely waive that $99 and you still can get residual income off that. Ladies and gentlemen, if that gets you excited, I really do need you to drop an 8 because 8 is infinity. So I need you to drop an 8 because that should get everybody excited. You can operate a multi-million-dollar business with zero overhead. Tell me where else can you do that? So with that being said, if you've lasted this long, that means your dream is still alive. So I want you to get back with the person who invited you. Let them know that you're ready. You're ready to build. You're ready to get started. You're ready to change your life. And today is the brokest you'll ever be. And that's in your mindset and in your pockets. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take care, take charge, and I'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.